Hello, hello, and welcome to the monthly read for March. My birthday month, fishes, bishes. Okay. I thought I was going to record this yesterday on the full moon and the eclipse, but my body was like, nar. And so, nar it was. But here I am on the 4th, day before my Earth anniversary, my B-Earth day. Okay. And here for a reading for the month ahead for the monthly read. My name is Sonia Estelle. Hi, nice to meet you if you haven't been here before. And I am always dropping these on YouTube at the end of the month, for which the monthly read is for. But if you want to get this reading at the beginning of the month, you can join my Patreon for as little as $1. The link is below. And that is the most affordable way to get monthly readings with me, from me, and also at the $10 level, the most affordable way to get cards read by me on a monthly basis. So join over there if you feel so inclined. Now, I can't waste time. I gotta pause this because I only have like 10 minutes of screen time on my phone because it's full up. I'll be right back. Okay, the tarot deck that has come forward for us is the Crow Tarot. Okay, so Crow Tarot, what do you want to tell us for the monthly read? What is March's message to us? Give us, boom, a clear message. What is March's message to us, Crow? Thank you. And what else does March want to tell us? Give us the vibe. Thank you. Wow, that card's just been coming around the mountain. So let's see here. COA in the key. Concern. Opportunity, also advantage, aversion. Key card. Any other alignment. Okay, so as you know, I'm not reading reverse, so let's just get into it. We begin with the Fool. There we go. This is also the first card, I believe, in my $10 Cards and Channeling meetup group, because they get their own reading as well. And, you know, it's about one foot in front of the other. It's about a day-to-day ritual of waking up and doing the thing that you feel most called to do, and also addressing those things that you have to address. But for certain, one of the things that you have to address being what you feel called to do, what your passion is, what your nature is. That doesn't mean you get to do it in the same way every day or at the same amount of time or in the same amount of space, but you can apply yourself every day to the things that matter to you the most by carving out time intentionally to make space for what that is, whether that means it's on the thinking, feeling, embodying, or doing levels. Now, how are we treating the Fool? Like a stepping stone or like a roadblock? We have the 9 of Wands. I can do bad all by myself. You know, the 9 of Wands is kind of someone who is wondering about if they're in the right community in all the ways that would make their life most, you know, supportive of efficient. Because we know once we get to the 10, the person has like taken the bundle on their back and they're walking with it, right? So at the 9, we're still on the fence. We're still thinking about, you know, will I stay? Will I go? This is the last aspect of the fight. And it makes me think of something my brother says, who's a marathon runner. I only run if I am chased, not whether I'm chased. Don't chase me. But if I was running, it would be because something was coming for me, okay, directly. But my brother runs marathons, right? And he said that the first 20K of a 25-mile run is 20K. And the last 5 miles of the 25K is also 20K, right? Meaning it's at the end where you're like, oh, like sputtering and you barely have any energy left in you, where you're like, must I go on? Like, must I do this? Is this really required? And, you know, champagne problems, right? Because for me, I wanted to write a book. I kept saying I want to write a book. I finally sent my stuff to agents and publishers. I got them, and now I have to write the book. So champagne problems is complaining about things that I gave myself to do and to have, right? Now, speaking of things I do, what about my character is helping or hurting me in the situation? The 4 of Wands. This is more fun. You know, I think once you commit to something, once you love something, once you're doing something you claim you love, it's not that you have to love every second, every aspect, every day of it, but it's that ultimately you know why you are doing it for the love. And so there's grace there in every respect. Because what you love unconditionally. And unconditionally doesn't mean that you survive in that love because of how much affection you've put in, because of how much time you've put in, because of how much energy you put in. Unconditional love is love that survives the conditions. So it means that, one, you need to go through conditions, right? It can't all be like hunky-dory and whatnot. But that also, you won't know until you've been through the conditions how much you love it, because there'll have been no strength testing, resilience, tension, resolution needed, no problems to solve. You know what I'm saying? There has to be some some story. There has to be some plot to thicken, let's say. And so the Four of Wands is like, look, you signed up for this thing called your life. You show up for it every day. You determine what it means, what it is. No one's determining that for you. There's people who are trying to influence it, but on an internal scale, in terms of how you perceive it all, that is use and yours alone. That is use and yours alone. Okay. And so to go from the 9 to the 4, the opportunity, the obstacle is deciding, if you aren't in right community, if you're not in right relationship with what you're doing with yourself, whether that means who you're doing with or just the activities that you're occupying yourself with, if you're no longer aligned with those things, then you have to decide whether you're going to pick up and go, or make room for something else, or simply admit that and see what happens to those around you, and see how, much affirmation, allowance, or denial there is in relationship to the thing itself. Because I say existence always affirms us through positive synchronicity, allows us through neutral synchronicity, and denies us through negative synchronicity. Okay? Or if you like old fashioned. So, Four of Wands is your character card. It's like, look, sign up for the things that you actually want to be in relationship with to the utmost that you can. That's not going to be everything, because you're not in control of everything. And also not everything is about you, but it can be about your day-to-day, the ritual, the routine, the 24 hours to the 24 hours. Like, my 24 hours today is not yesterday's me's 24 hours. I get to do with my 24 hours. Sorry, I'm trying not to sneeze. I get to do with my 24 hours what I want to do. Sanyu yesterday got to do what she wanted to do, and Sanyu tomorrow is going to do whatever she wants to do on her birthday. Okay, our birthday. Okay, now our key card is, what about our... Okay, it's either the master key, now it's the keystone. So it's holding up the building. The keystone is the master stone in the building, that once you remove it, this structure crumbles, right? It doesn't want to change. Also, Crow Tarot. It's just a wands, fools and wands. Ooh, it's the 6. Bubble reality. I've been talking to clients about, maintaining awareness of what's happening in the outside world, not becoming callous, not becoming apathetic, and not becoming ignorant or uninformed, or let's say touched out. Balancing your awareness of what is happening in the outside world by making sure your life is a construct to the new earth, right? The new earth being the place that you claim would exist if all things were considered equal. The version of you that would exist if nothing was in your way, if nothing was stopping you. The version of yourself that would exist in the best of all possible worlds, right? And the bubble reality is that you work your way towards that version of yourself, regardless of what's happening on the outside world. You are imprinting the frequency, the energy, the intention, and the perspective of that world on your experience of reality, even if you can't control all the other experiences of reality outside of you, right? So the 6 of Wands is about, being present, being with what is, knowing it won't last forever, knowing that bubbles do pop, know that things change and that things move forward regardless, right? And then fire is also the only element that has to coexist, right? Fire can't burn on its own, and it can't burn without a catalyst. And so that catalyst is relationship. I think of Wands as the suit of relationship. And so it's very important after the Fool, like, yes, it's dealer's choice, right? The Fool is like, choose your own adventure. But once you've done so, you don't stop choosing your adventure. You keep correcting and critiquing and tuning and changing and becoming, and the adventure adapts around you. So there's an energy here of using March to really be as authentic as you can in your relationships. I also think of Wands as the suit that teaches you the difference between performance and embodiment. Embodiment, you do it for the experience itself. Performance, you do it for how others respond to the embodiment. And of course, there's an aspect of both because we're reflecting on ourselves. But ultimately, you have to be there in order to want a response from who you're wanting it from. And that means that you have to prioritize that response over your own interests if you are doing